Hello everyone, this is Natalie Stavsky at Ashland Yoga Center. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, not a couple of minutes, 1 minute and see who's here today. The topic for today is in response or a comment about Shavasana. Hey Kayla, there's people joining, so nice to see you. So Shavasana is such a common pose and it should be such an easy pose, right? However, the comments I get all the time during teacher training is, I cannot relax in Shavasana. A lot of the students in class mention that Shavasana, it's a posture that they're not able to let go. And Shavasana is the ultimate restorative pose. So it's a pose of ease, a pose of relaxation, of letting go, of renewal, recharging, resetting, and it is, I think, one of the main reasons why we come to yoga. You might come to yoga because you have a back pain or you want to work out, but the ability to let go completely and recharge and find ease can really translate into everything else that you do during the day in your life, right? So there's a couple of things that we can do in Shavasana. And this I like to share for trainees, teachers, and also for you if you don't really feel like Shavasana, it's quite comfortable. One of my teachers, Judith Hanson-Lassiter, who I train in different modalities, but one of them is restorative yoga. She said, if you have one blanket, that blanket has to be for the head and the neck. If you're not able to support your head and your neck, you might not be able to relax. So we have a system of nerves in our neck and our head that are called proprioceptors. And they orient us in space. They keep us knowing where we are in relationship to gravity, posturally. But when we lie down to relax in Shavasana, there's no demand for those nerves to actually be active. There's no demand on the musculature to be contracting or keeping you upright. However, depending on the position of your head, you might be in an alert, you might be tensing up. So we're going to try a couple of things, and for that I asked one of the teachers at Ashland Yoga Center, Carlos, to join me. Otherwise I will have to use a watermelon as an example for a head. Carlos teaches at Ashland Yoga Center many classes from flow to yin and restorative. So he's going to be my model today. And I'm going to be using a blanket. If you do not have a blanket, you can use a towel or a piece of fabric. Okay, so first lie down on the mat, and we're just gonna check. Okay, so you're gonna scoot a little bit that way. All right. Wonderful. So lie down. So you can see here that he has that really nice lying down position. Probably he's able to relax. His chin though is slightly higher. His chin is slightly higher than his neck. So we're going to be supporting his neck. So I'm going to ask you to move further because I realized I was not on camera at all when I was talking. A little bit more, please. Thank you. Okay. So one of the things that we want to do when we come into Shavasana is that we want the chin to be slightly lower than the forehead. Okay? Slightly lower. That means that you're able to, your gaze, even with your eyes closed, is downwards. So the back of the neck is long and it's relaxed. So my favorite way of supporting the head in Shavasana is I'm folding a blanket like this, and I want to make sure that I'm supporting the shoulder blade, the top of the shoulder blade. So at the top where the shoulder blade ends, the spine of it, that's what I want to support. So if you can lift your head, please, and then I'm going to go right a little bit under the shoulders. There we go. Okay, so I supported that area. This can be it for a lot of students. However, I tend to have my head tipping to one side, and it takes some energy to keep the head in place. So I'm going to grab the edges of the blanket, and I'm going to go inwards. I'm going to fold them, crunch them like that, and I'm supporting the sides of his neck, and also I'm putting a little bit of blanket underneath his cervical or first thoracic. So if you touch behind you, the protrusion, there's a vertebrae that protrudes. That one is either your last cervical or your first thoracic, and you maybe want to support that, and it can be really relaxing. So I'm going to ask Carlos now to slowly come up so I can show you how the blanket is set up, so you can set it up yourself. Okay, so there's a space here for the head, the sides for the support of the neck, and there's the support or the area of the shoulder blades. So this can be super comfortable for people the moment you get them into that pose or teach them how to support the neck that way. They can relax completely. I'm going to show you another one. Okay, so this one is for that out. Sometimes supporting just that can do the trick. So the blanket, I'm going to put it kind of a corner like this. So this area, this edge is where that vertebrae is going to be. So you're going to lie down again like you were, and that area, there we go. So lift up a little bit more. So there we go. Okay. So for some people, this is it. This is super comfortable. They get that support, and that's all they need. Okay. Now, Carlos right now has his legs straight, and sometimes it works perfect for people. However, whatever is happening with your pelvis and your lumbar spine is going to affect the neck. If you tend to lie down and tuck your tailbone, chances are you're also doing the same with your cervical. So I like, and I'm going to do it right now, to put a bolster or a folded blanket under the knees when you lie down in Shavasana. So if you can lift up, so I'm going to put, there we go, and then lie down, and this can be also super comfortable. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time to come out, and I'll show you one more variation. All right, so the next variation, you have the blanket, and I am just going to fold a little bit, and that's going to be for the curvature of the neck. So lie down one more time. There we go. So here, the curve right here of his neck, it's supported. And then he also has the edges of the blanket supporting the top of the shoulder blades and the shoulders and the head. And you could also fold the inside, the outer part to support the sides of the neck. Voila. Anyway, and this is probably one of the most important things to adjust or to tell your students to do during Shavasana, because every yoga that we do, every practice of yoga, ideally we're doing it with ease and relaxation, and by the time you get into Shavasana, you are already in the dominance of the parasympathetic nervous system, meaning the relaxation response, so you can get more out of your practice. This is a time that you can recharge, renew, restore all the functions that our body does in a state of ease and relaxation, like tissue repair, immunity, fertility, you name it, is done in relaxation. So why not Shavasana? Anyway, I hope this is really useful for you, that you can share it with your students, you can use it on yourself, and love to hear from you, comments, or visit us at ashanYogaCenter.net or .com. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time, next week. Bye-bye.